Well, good day and welcome, and thank you very much for joining me again today. I want to give an update on a project that I did a couple of years ago. You might have seen it. It's of this hat that I did from an inspiration from an artist. And I had a hat that was a straw hat, and I had it for years, and it had just fell apart. It was done and I needed to replace it. And so instead of buying a new one, I decided that I was going to create a new one using the inspiration from this particular artwork. And from the visuals, I could tell that the quality was going to involve something like that looked to me like rawhide, like leather. In the end, it turned out to look exactly the way I wanted it, and it was pretty cool. There was a lot of trial and error, and in the end it was a success. However, there was a couple of things that I didn't like about it. So the first thing that you might notice in the video is there's a link to the video in the description, by the way, to check that out. And the hat kind of wobbled on my head and it kind of shook around as I spun my head around. And I tried to do some tweaks after that video, and I still couldn't correct that problem. The other thing that I had difficulties with is that it weighed about 2 pounds, and 2 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're wearing the hat for a little while, it becomes noticeable and it becomes uncomfortable quicker. And then the last thing too was that as it continued to dry out, the framework went from its dome shape and started to flatten out. So it became more like a pancake. I decided that I was going to redo it. And after all that hard work that I put in, I dismantled it all and I went at it again. And what happened was that the second approach was terrible. It did not form the way I wanted it to. After some time had gone by, I decided to get back to that project, and the end result for the third time was much better. It looked pretty darn good, except that there was still a few things that I didn't like. One rib in particular was really sticking out, and it gave the look a bit of a bulge, and everything looked uneven. I scratched my head, and recently I decided that I was going to give it a fourth go. And as I dismantled and tweaked, it continued to fall apart, and it just was not usable. It was awful. So I felt a little defeated again, and well, to be honest with you, all this trial and error was teaching me something. But I had a thought, and that thought was to simply take the frame from the original design and wrap the rawhide around it. And the fifth time, I can tell you, was very much a success. So here it is. This is the fifth attempt. And as you can see, I have just wrapped it over the top of the old one, which was falling apart. A few things that I learned during the process is that I've always had this access of rawhide that I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to handle it. Well, this one time I decided that I was going to push them together, and I ended up sewing it together into this nice line. I decided to put a lot more care into this one, so it looks cleaner, it looks neater than my other approaches, and this is what it looks like. Now, this is very much solid to my head, you know, with the chin strap, it works. So the one thing I know that I wanted to do that kept me from doing it this way was that I wanted to do everything from scratch. I wanted to do everything on its own. I wanted to create the framework, and I wanted to assemble it using all natural raw stuff that I had done. And so this is a bit of a cheat form, obviously. And I was thinking about that. You know, for $20, $30, $40, I could have purchased another one. But with the cost of the rawhide being $140, and I know that that is the retail price, it's not a sale price or anything, but at $140, plus the cost of the labor. And if I just can consider the labor for just doing this particular version properly, Forget about all the trials and errors that I did before, not including that time that I spent on that, and just this. I mean, I'm giving myself an easy $120 worth of labor. So adding that together, we're looking at about, well, let's just round it off to around $300 easy. Okay, so $300, $250, $300 for this hat for sure, you know, is a higher value than the $20, $30, $40 of the rice hat. So then when I add in the fact that this is a very unique project, you can't get one like this. So the value of it is increasing by the rarity of it. And also, to me, it's almost like a priceless item, because I wouldn't want to give this up. I would definitely keep it. But if you had to put a money value on this realistically, you're looking at about $500, $600, $700, or maybe even $1,000. I highly encourage you to find projects that inspire you. I mean, I'm an artist at heart. I'm an artist in life. So being crafty and putting my imagination and hands together to create something is something I'm used to. But none of these things that I have created are things that I am an expert in. So I'm just sharing you the journey that I'm on when I'm creating them. But this is a success story, and I wanted to share with you the hat that I have, and that I am finally satisfied with the end result. Now I can wear the hat as intended. It's practical as it was meant to be. It keeps the sun out, keeps the rain off, and I'm going to get into mowing the lawn and doing my gardening and all that wonderful things that I set out to do. And so that was it. This is the new hat. This is the final version of this hat, and I just wanted to share with you. So yeah, consider hitting the like button if you made it this far, or if you've learned something or you got something valuable out of this. You know, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing that. I have various topics that I share on my channel. So, you know, you got the mindfulness, you got the crafting like this, and then you got some outdoor survival skills. I don't have them separated into different channels. I just clump them all here, but they're all related in somewhat in this connectivity, and you know, so consider subscribing, because there's probably something here that I can offer for you, and there's going to be more of that in the future, whichever you're interested in. So until next time, enjoy life, take care, and I wish you well.